Welcome. I'm Brendan Christian, director at Christian, the law firm, and in this clip, we're talking generally about some of the registration obligations imposed upon startups who are about to start trading in England and Wales. First things first, inform HMRC, that is HM Revenue and Customs, the tax authority in England and Wales. Inform them that you are about to start trading, i.e., register with HMRC. Second, if you are trading online or have a shopping cart on your website, or indeed are collecting personal data via your website, then I would strongly suggest you register your website with the ICO, that is the Information Commissioner's Office. There's a standard application form to complete together with an application fee, typically around £20. Third, if you have actual physical premises, you need to register with the local authority, and that's at two levels. Firstly, because you have actual physical premises, i.e., business premises, you'll need to be liable for business rates, and business rates are typically payable to the local authority. So they'll need to know that you are trading within the borough from a particular business address, and you'll have to account to them for business rates. Fourth, and staying with the local authority, trading from business premises typically requires some form of license. So for example, if you're trading as a restaurant, there are particular licenses that you'll need to obtain from the local authority. And that's quite separate from the health and safety obligations imposed upon restaurants as well, to continue with that particular example. So just be mindful of that. Fifth, it might not necessarily be strictly mandatory depending on the type of business you're in, but nonetheless, in my view, it is important, it is imperative, and that is insurance. Do have sufficient insurance cover in place, be it public liability insurance, or if you're an employer, employer's liability insurance. And again, depending on the nature of the business you're trading in, there might be specific insurance requirements to have in place. So that would certainly be my fifth observation. Have sufficient protection, i.e. insurance cover, in place to protect your business. Sixth, if you have taken the commercial decision, the business decision, to employ staff, i.e. employees, then please note there are a raft of obligations you have as an employer as well, ranging from health and safety to pension, to all sorts of statutory and legal employment law obligations that are placed upon you as an employer to make sure that you are fully compliant with all of those. And that, for the purposes of a video clip, is an entirely separate discussion in itself. Please do come and speak to us by way of taking specialist legal advice on this particular area, i.e. your obligations and your duties as an employer. Please do come and speak to us about that. Seventh, and of course, if you are trading as a company, you would have naturally registered with Companies House first to get your private limited company, limited by shares. This point is just to remind you that you do now that you are trading as a company, you do have company law obligations imposed upon the company, and the directors are responsible. I have particularly in mind sections 170 through to sections 177 of the Companies Act 2006 in England and Wales, i.e. those particular statutory sections impose duties on the directors of a company in England and Wales as to what the directors' functions and responsibilities are. Typically, Typically, in addition to the responsibilities of directors, the company would need to file annual returns, accounts with Companies House, and so forth. And those are continuing obligations. They are yearly requirements. And so please do comply, certainly as a director, in your capacity as a director, and indeed on behalf of the company, to make sure that the company fulfills all of its company law obligations imposed by the legislation. Eighth, some startups, not all, but certainly some, are always particularly concerned about their ingeniously crafted logo, or mark, i.e. trademark, that they wish to trade under. If you are particularly sensitive around your logo, or your mark, your trademark that is, then you must register it. And to do so, you need to register with the Intellectual Property Office, the IPO. There are various different classes under which you can register your mark, and indeed the geographic areas that you wish to cover. The principle being, the more classes and the greater the geographic area you wish to protect your mark in, the greater the registration fee. But again, do take specialist legal advice around this. Come and speak to us should you wish to register your particular mark or logo as a registered trademark. Turning then to businesses who are planning to trade purely online, i.e. web-based companies, internet-based companies. Naturally, for you, your URL, your domain name, your web address would be of particular importance. And so try and get that, try and secure it as early as possible. Indeed, if the idea is to trade purely online, securing your URL and securing your domain name would be one of the first things that you must secure. Your entire business depends on that. So do try and secure it as early as possible. And there are a number of service providers who render the service, ranging from GoDaddy to Bluehost and others. So simply make sure absolutely that you secure your URL or your domain name as early as possible. Have in place an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, to fully protect your business idea, your business concept, definitely, before you open your mouth and discuss with any third party, i.e. a party outside of the founders of the startup. Have these third parties sign an NDA. A non-disclosure agreement must be signed and must be in place to fully protect you before you disclose your business idea. So definitely have a non-disclosure agreement in place. Finally, and so indeed and in fact we draw to the close now by way of a discussion of the general requirements that need to be in place in terms of registration obligations that you must fulfill. If you need any advice, indeed specialist legal advice around your particular circumstances, please do contact us. I am Brendan Christian, Director at Christian the Law Firm. Thank you very much for joining us.